are very excited to have you here on the Bishop's Corner. Tonight, we have some very exciting questions on the board. The question really is, what do men need to know about women? Wow. And that's a big question because all of us guys out there that are watching, that's a question we all ask. But before we get started, we're going to motivate you on going out there to vote. There's a lot of all the different states have different procedures now on voting. And so we're just going to share some quick information with you before you go out. So please pay attention as we play this video.
Is your voter registration up to date? Even if you voted before, from time to time, states and local election offices purge their voter registration lists. They delete people who have moved or who haven't voted in a long time. And sometimes there's just an error. That's why it's a good idea to check your registration now
on voting,
to make sure
and so we're just going to
you
share
vote on
some quick
election day.
information with you
Start by finding your local
before you
election
go
office
out.
at
So
usa.gov
please pay attention as we play this video.
office. You may be able to check your registration online, by phone, by mail, or in person. When you're reviewing your voter registration, here's what to look for. Your name. Is your voter registration up to date? Your address, even if you voted before, are up to date. From time to time, states and local election offices purge their voter registration. If you can't find your name on the voter list, they delete people, or your information is wrong, or who haven't voted your election office right away to correct the error. Sometimes there's just an error. Did you recently move or change your name? Depending on where you live, you'll need to update your registration or re-register. Ask your election office. Sometimes just moving a few blocks away can actually change your polling place. And check your registration if you have not voted in the past couple of elections, or you didn't mail back a postcard from your election office. They might consider you inactive and purge your name from the voter registration list. Don't wait until Election Day to discover you can't vote. Check your registration now and learn more about voting at usa.gov/voting.
All right, so make sure that you are correctly registered and you're in the system so that when November 3rd comes, you can vote. Now we're going to start our program, and I'm going to introduce our host for the evening, the Honorable Bishop Dr. Herbert N. Scott. Bishop Scott.
Well, God bless you one and all. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Phil. Let's put our hands together, would you please, for Dr. Phil, our producer, who does a tremendous job. Man of God, we do honor you and we do respect you. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Bishop's Corner. You are in for a treat tonight. My name is Bishop Dr. Herbert N. Scott, the Chief Prelate of the Liberty Hall Cathedral of Praise right here in the heart of Brooklyn. Well, our subject line for discussion tonight is, what do men need to know about women when it comes on to love, career, and the family? It has been said that heaven and earth rejoice the day that women place their feet on earth. It's also been said that money can buy a good dog, but it's going to take love to make that dog wag his tail. Well, we're hoping tonight that the panel of cherubs will indeed cause us men to wag our tails. I am looking forward to it tonight. Would like to welcome at this time the audience that are weighing in, and also our illustrious panel that we have tonight. We want to thank God for the Right Reverend Dr. Heather Francis that is with us. Can we put our hands together, make her feel welcome? Woman of God, thank you very much. Then we want to thank God for my little brother, Apostle Lucian Roas. My God, we thank God for the man of God all the way from up north. My son from England, Bishop Neville Wollaston, is with us tonight. Oh, and then we want to thank God for a young man that we all love and respect, Pastor Richard McKenzie Jr. He's also from Brooklyn, and you know that good things come from Brooklyn. Well, sitting beside Dr. Heather Francis, we have a beautiful young lady by the name of Gabby, and Gabby makes Dr. Francis look so beautiful. Gabby, thank you very, very much for weighing in. Then we have a lovely young lady all the way from Connecticut. She's a part of the ministry where Bishop Neville Wollaston is the man of God, the overseer, and that's none other but Kadesha Simpson. Woman of God, thank you very much for coming on. God bless you, and please maintain that beautiful smile. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, my daughter. She's the best of the best, Dr. Gizelle Phillip. Come on, put your hands together for my little girl, all the way from Brooklyn, and you know that good things come from Brooklyn. Well, my God, let's talk about it tonight. Let's talk about it. The question for our consideration that the ladies will explain to us tonight is, what do men need to know about women? Well, some weeks ago, we were told that women really don't want much. They just want the alpha and the omega and everything in between. So, Dr. Heather Francis, would you please come, woman of God, and tell us, what is it that we men need to know about you all?
Good evening, everyone. I'm giving honor to our host, Bishop Dr. Herbert N. Scott, also our producer, the company PNBG, which is run by our head producer, which is Dr. Phil. God bless you. Also the panel, everyone that is on tonight. I'm not going to name all the names. God bless you, everyone. It is such an honor to sit among such people who are esteemed. What do men need to know about women? We talked about it yesterday when it comes to family, career, and love. I believe that the question itself is very subjective, because based on the generation that you ask this question, you're going to get a varied answer. If you ask the younger generation, their answer is going to be different based on someone who's like me, who's a bit older. And then there's a factor in there that may change the whole thing and put a boomerang in it based on experience. Based on where I am right now in my life, I'm going to answer it from my perspective. What do men need to know about women? Well, when it comes to love, I would say that a woman wants a man who can satisfy every area of the love circle. What does that involve? It involves the philia, which is the friendship. Women want to have a relationship where they can be friends with their husband or with their lover, which is their husband. And you don't want to just be a husband, but you also want to be a lover. There's something that sounds so good when you say your husband is your lover. And you don't just have to call him, oh, my husband, but he's my lover. Also, women want that eros kind of love. We want the romantic love. We want eroticism. We want to be romanced. We want to be wined. We want to be dined. We want all of that. But then we still want the agape love. We want that fulfilling spiritual love where a man will take care of me the same way that God takes care of the church. How is that? The first thing he did was sacrifice his only son so that we could have a right to the tree of life. Baby, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up to get my good graces? You give me grace, I'll give you grace. When it comes to career, well, now based on experience, based on what women have to work hard for, depending on the woman you ask, women want to feel valued because now we have to earn a seat at the table when it comes to leadership. Now we have to make sure that we cross our T's, we dot our I's, which means we acquire the degrees, we acquire the education that now allows us to sit at the table with men of a certain status. stature. So we want to feel valued. We want to feel appreciated. Also, when it comes to the family, now that women have to rise to the occasion and earn a living, also, we want to feel that we have a mate that will work with us. And we don't want the defined gender roles, but we want gender roles that can be cross-learned, meaning that if I can't cook tonight, baby, you should be able to get naked, put your little apron on, and cook me dinner. And when we're done, I'll cook you dinner my way.
Amen.
Hey, to the man.
Heather
Hallelujah.
Francis, a question. Do you think men really understand? Do you think we really understand? Or do you think we're just pretending?
No, but you know what? Here's the thing, Bishop. Marriage is, when I'm talking marriage now, because I'm talking either prospective marriage or marriage, because I'm speaking from a Christian perspective. So I believe that marriage is an institution where, and in an institution, there are levels of learning. And so as you come together with your mate, you may get married and be at first grade. But at some point, I expect you to matriculate. I expect you to reach middle school. I expect you to go to high school. And at some point, when we get to university, I expect to see lights, fire, and action.
I hear you, woman of God. Well said indeed. Okay, Kadesha, please weigh in on the same question.
Good night, everyone. Good night to our esteemed panel. Good night to our visitors listening in. And yes, most definitely, what do we women want you men to know about love, career, and family? First of all, I think Lady Heather Francis summed it all up. So awesome points with sharing the 3 stages of love. Definitely for me personally, I want unconditional love. I want my husband to love me just as he loves his mother, his sister, and just as he would love his daughter. So I'm looking for that unconditional love. And what does the word remind us? Love covers a multitude of sin. While we're loving on each other, I want us to be able to share our individual career goals. What are my dreams and my aspirations? What are your dreams and aspirations? How can we tie it all in together and work together so our family can grow? How are we preparing for the future for our children? How are we investing? How are we growing, not only on a material basis, but on a spiritual base, on so many different levels? We need to connect. On it with our career. Are you planning to go back to school? Is it okay if you work night while I do the day shift? Can we take turn with taking care of the kids? It's just being flexible to intertwine those roles. The woman of God just said, if I can't make dinner tonight, is it okay if you go into the kitchen? If I can't pick up the groceries, is it okay if you go grocery shopping? Is it okay if you're not able to take out the garbage and I see that it needs to be done and I can take it out? Sure, I'll take out the garbage. So it's just being flexible within our rights and within our roles, and know that in our marriage, in our relationship, with our career, with our family, it takes communication and flexibility to make it work. Are you willing to sacrifice the time and energy it needs to make me happy? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to hold off while you push me to finish my doctorate? Are you willing to work 2 jobs while I stay in school? What are you willing to give up for me as my husband, as the head of the household, while you allow me to grow, which in turn allow us to grow our family?
Are you saying that you'll want me to make you happy? Were you not happy before you met me?
Oh, Bishop, of course I am happy before I met you. So just to make it clear, I strongly say to my older woman, my younger woman, and even to my younger self, it is very important that you know who you are It's very important that you know what you want. It's very important you know your own goals, dreams, and aspiration for yourself before you're willing to share that with someone else. Make sure you take the time to spend quality time with you. So you want to make sure you know that you're beautiful and you're wonderfully made. So if your husband don't say, okay, look so beautiful, or you dressed all up, dolled up, he didn't recognize it, it's okay, because you own that, you got it. So you want to make sure you define that first. I think self-love is very important before we are able to share that communal love.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Kadesha. Well said. Now, the next young lady I'm going to ask to weigh in. Last week, she said to us that God put man to sleep. And in her deliberation, she made us feel as if we men are still sleeping. So this time we'll be asking the lovely, the delightful Gizelle Phillip to weigh on in with this question. What do men need to know about women? Please, woman of God, weigh in, but please be gentle.
Good night to everyone, to my Bishop, Dr. Herbert Scott, our host, our esteemed panelists. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me once again. To our listening audience, God bless you. And I will start off by saying, awake, Zion, awake. Amen. Hallelujah. Glory to God. What do men need to know about women regarding love? Regarding love, we want that commitment. When you ask me to be your wife, then I need you to be committed to that love. Being committed to loving me, and like I said last week, loving my mind, my body, my spirit, loving my ideas. Also, just showing that love, making me feel appreciated at times, not just that, I'm just here to cook and clean and take care of the kids and supply your needs and make you feel but figuring out what is my love language and speaking it, figuring out what turns me on and working it, figuring out what takes me to my climax and making it happen. So just, and when I say loving my mind that I do have ideas, I do have thoughts, and allowing me to express it. And listening, because a lot of men, even though they might give you the opportunity to talk, but after a certain point, sometimes they shut you out and they're not even listening to what you're saying. And understanding, yes, we women, we talk a lot, we go into stuff and things, but giving us that opportunity to express ourselves, that's what we need. We need you to give us that opportunity to express ourselves. When it comes to career, yes, I believe that there needs to be an understanding from the get-go, whether it's the courting stage and dating stage, where you talk about career and stuff. What is my desire? Because I had dreams and aspirations before I met you, and you the same. So, and bridging those two together, but not trying to dumb down what I desire and what I had dreamed for myself, but helping me to either achieve it if I have not achieved it yet, working towards it, and just bringing that balance of, like Sister Kadesha said, if we're not there yet, are you willing to work and let me go to school, or I work and you go to school, and vice versa? When you accomplish, then you allow me to accomplish. Not because now the children are here and we're taking care of the kids, all of a sudden my dreams, aspirations go out the door or put on the back burner because now the kids have to be taken care of. We need to understand that, okay, maybe when the kids get to a certain age, you go back, I get to go back to school, and we figure out how we're gonna manage and stuff. So career, I believe, just have to work together and communicate. When it comes to the family, I truly believe in the time that we're living in, that we need to work together. It's no longer, this is what the man do and this is what the woman do, because most households, both man and woman are out there working in the field. Both of them are working tediously, long hours and all of that. So if you're getting home before me, you could start dinner. If you get on before me, maybe I cook dinner and you give the kids a bath. Maybe, I give the kids a bath and you help them with their homework. You put them to bed tonight. I put them to bed, tomorrow. And because at the end of the day, you want to still have that energy for each other. But if one individual is doing everything, then you don't have the energy for each other because one person is burnt out. And you don't need that, because then there becomes frustration now with the parents or the husband and wife, because he's frustrated because she's burnt out, or she's frustrated because he's burnt out. Because let's be real, there's some men that are doing most of the stuff in the home. It's not just now women. So it's definitely working together with the family and just trusting each other. Trust.
Okay, woman of God, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Now we have the youngest female on the panel, the beautiful Gabby, and we'll be asking her at this time to please weigh in with the answer to this question, the things that we men need to know about you, woman.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you again for having me on this show. I always love coming on here. It's super fun. So I think our fellow female panelists have made a lot of good points in regards to themselves and generally. One other thing that I would like to add is just respect. I think that especially when it comes to a career nowadays, everybody is really, really focused on what they want to do and their future and their dreams and their goals. And a lot of this generation is entrepreneurs. A lot of us are really hustling for what we want. So I think just respecting each other's hustle, whatever that may be, is a big part of kind of compromising and making a relationship work. Like our sister Kadesha said, can you compromise with, if I want to go to school right now and you have to work 2 jobs, is that okay with you? And vice versa. As far as family goes, being able to work together with the kids, future kids, when we have them, making sure that the weight is equal and that, you don't fall into the woman does all the work and she has to stay home. Like, will you be okay if you have to stay home and take care of the kids and I work? Is that okay with you? And not feeling threatened by the fact that maybe I make more money than you and we go through that period of time where I have to be the sole breadwinner and you have to stay home with the kids. Is that okay with you? That sort of thing. And as far as love, just being able to show it. I believe our Dr. Gizelle Phillip said, know my love language and be able to fulfill it. So like everybody's different. Everybody shows love different and everybody gives love differently. So being able to know each other on that level, you're in a relationship. So that should be a given. So yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Heather Francis said something very, very interesting. She broke down the 3 compartments of love. But the week before, what she said was this: to men, love is equivalent to sex. Love is equivalent to sex. Well, first, let me put it to the ladies, okay? Is that true, ladies? To men, love is equivalent to sex.
No.
It is. And then after,
ladies,
we will hear from the men concerning this portion of the question. Okay, Dr. Gizelle, would you like to weigh in first, please?
Thank you, Bishop. I do believe that there are times that men do equate love to sex. And that's how it's communicated to us. It comes across that, and that's why I said last week, I believe that yes, we love sex. Yes, we want sex, but we don't want to feel like we're sex objects. We don't want to feel like that's all you want us for. Like that's all the only role we can fulfill. That's the only time you desire us. That's the only time we look pleasurable in your eyes. That's the only time you want to communicate with me is when you want to, because it's just like your child. You know when your child wants something, all of a sudden they start with the daddy and the mommy, and you look this and they start all, and you're like, what you want? It's the same thing with some of us, our men, in our marriages. You know, but we don't want to feel like we're sex objects. We want to feel desired. We want to feel wanted, but not just like you just hump me and you feel good and you come and then it's like you roll over. No, no. I'm sorry.
Okay, Kadesha, please weigh in on this question.
So Yes, Bishop, I totally agree. Men equate love to sex. Also, in my personal opinion, I think what is also important to men is commitment. I feel like they'll have you as a wife, but at the same time, they entertain others. And when I say entertain others, I think it's just the way you guys are wired, where I'm not saying that you're cheating, because cheating is, let's see, the term cheating is, the word I'm looking for is, help me here, ladies. What's the word I'm looking for? So when I say men are not only looking for commitment, but the way they're wired, I'm trying to say that they're open to, well, not open to anything. That's not the word I want to say. My God, help me with what I'm trying to say, Lord. What I'm trying to say is men entertain on so many different levels. When we say men cheat, oh God, I'm segueing into a whole different area, but cheating is not only sexual penetration. I'm saying men cheat on so many different levels. Men
Like
cheat
emotionally?
with conversation. Men cheat flirting. Men cheat, like you're not even aware of what you're doing. So yes, I'm sorry, Bishop.
No, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
So yes, I can say to some point, love equates to sex.
Okay, okay. Let's hear from Gabby, please.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Okay, I'm gonna speak from my perspective because, as you all know, I'm not married and I've never been in that kind of relationship. But the way that I will speak on the way that men approach single women, I think they approach single women with a very kind of sexual intent, at least in my experience. They don't approach you with like, hey, how are you doing? They're like, hey, sexy, you know, like it's a very kind of sexual approach to it. So you don't even feel like, you don't even want to talk to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like they want to get to know you. It just seems like they just want something from you.
You feel sexualized.
Are you
Right.
talking about men in the church or men on the outside?
Both.
Okay, okay. Dr. Heather Francis, please, would you weigh in on this question?
Well, I stand by what I said. I do believe that, and I'm gonna chime in with where Sister Kadesha was going, that cheating comes on many levels, and sex for men. I don't think men realize how sexual you are.
We do.
You do?
Yeah.
But not you, because here's the thing. No. I don't think all men realize that, because there's a level of, I think I'm chiming in with Kadesha here. Flirting. I want to call it flirting, because it can be conversational, like she said, it can be emotional, it can be people that you allow yourself to have a connection with, and that can violate and make a wife or your partner, your lover, feel intimidated because you have that connection with someone else. And
Why
so
does it have to be perceived as flirting, though? You know that there are a lot of men who have more female friends than male friends. You know that, right? And vice versa. Does that mean we're all cheat with all these females?
But not every man has the same intention, or not every man comes off the same way. The fact is, there are some that do come off that way. And put yourself on the other side. One of the things that I try to do when I speak to people, even in counseling, I try to put myself in their shoes and see how they may be perceiving something. And so we always have to keep in mind, how is that person feeling when someone is coming at them in a way that makes them feel like my daughter said, sexual, because that's not how all women want to be addressed. Mind you, there are some women, and I'm sure it's probably outside of the church, that may feel when a man goes, hey, sexy, you know, you looking really good in them jeans. Whereas to me, I'm offended by that. My daughter is offended by that because you know, because of who we are, we feel offended. Some women like to be objectified. Let's keep it real. Some women like to be objectified, but not all women like that. So I think someone typed it in the chat that you have to get to know someone. You really do have to get to know them, but how you approach them kind of sets the atmosphere from where you go from that point. And I do believe in relationships, there are some men, now let's keep this in mind. I'm going to go back to what Bishop Wollaston always says. Bishop Wollaston always says, go back to the model that we were given. Now, if you see your mother and father or grandmother and grandfather say that they love each other, but then when they say they love each other, kiss each other, they go straight to the bedroom, you're equating love with sex. So if I love my wife, from the male perspective, there's always an intention there to get something. Whereas if you see a different type of love demonstrated, and let's keep it real, old school guys did not wine and dine. Not everyone does that. I'm not saying it across as a blanket statement, but old school, normally it's just you're a provider. And most men think that if I provide for you, if I put a roof over your head, if I put food on the table, that should be enough for you to give me anything that I want. And that equates love to sex. Now I'm saying things without saying things here. Otherwise, there's a different perspective. The new woman or the modern woman does not necessarily need you to provide, you know, the house and provide the car and provide the groceries. They want the romance. And romance doesn't necessarily mean you have to buy me flowers. You have to, you know, take me to dinner. There are different ways. There's love notes. There's different ways to tell a woman that you love her. Just being her friend and being a companion and being there for her, being understanding, being compassionate. So there's so many levels to love that, you know, but does the man really understand that? Have men experienced that? Do they know about those levels of love that lead to sex? Not necessarily sex, but it makes a woman feel so cared for, you know, and so you're so tender with her and you've done so many other considerate things that now set the atmosphere for it to be easy to reach to that level. So it's a process.
Okay, thank you very much, woman of God. Okay, the question that we started with is this. What do men need to know about women? And it was Dr. Heather that had stated last week that to men, love is equivalent to sex. And she's asking the question, do men really know? Well, the men on the panel, let me ask the men. Men, do you really understand how a woman thinks? Talk to me. Is love equated to sex? Men, please help me. Bishop Neville Williston, please.
Bishop, go ahead, man.
Please.
Bishop Scott, Bishop.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if my female counterparts are living in a bubble like the NBA. I'm for real right now. You know, I'm sitting here listening. I'm hoping to hear things like, I want my husband to know that we can learn together. I want my husband and I to know that together we can accomplish together. Maybe one time out of this conversation, I heard the word together. I hear things like, you know, I hear a lot of, I want him to make me feel. I want him to make me blank, blank, blank. And I'm saying, come on now, can the brother get a break here?
My God.
No, I do understand that we don't necessarily have to provide the roof over our heads and you know, they own everything now. They own the farm, the pig, the goat, the curry, the whole nine. I mean, what's a brother supposed to do? You understand? So I said it last time, and I say it again. I do agree that today it's very difficult for a man to know what his role is. And I'm not talking about taking out the trash and cutting the grass. Because again, Dr. Heather just mentioned the old school, our grandparents' parents. Primarily what dad did was provide and protect. The role was clear. My thing is, ladies, if you feel that we're not doing a good job or we're not understanding you, don't feel bad to take us by the hand. Or don't expect that we got to know everything without you telling us what you want.
That's what we're
Your
doing now.
expectation is unrealistic. That's why I'm asking if you live in a bubble. I'm
We're
serious
taking you
right
by the
now.
hand now, Bishop.
Say it again.
We're taking you by the hand now and leading you.
Oh, now you're doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
28 years, 28 years later.
towards individuality, because the question says, what do you need to know? So
Exactly.
it wasn't geared towards a unified answer. It was an individual answer. It's individually asking me, what do I want you to know? So I'm not going to include you in the answer because you need to know the information.
I understand. And Dr. Heather, it's safe to say you're speaking for the majority of women with your answers. All of you are. So we still need to know. But I understand what you're saying. But my thing is, let's learn together. I agree what you're saying, that at your age, it's different from Gabby. And at Gabby's age, from my mom's and your mom. I understand we're in different ages or eras and what have you. But just what I'm basically saying, come on now, give a brother a break here. What about love? I mean, what's wrong tell me what's wrong. You talk about how we're wired. I didn't wire myself this way. And I think Dr. Gizelle talked about, you don't want us to look at you as being objective sex objects or whatever. I don't want to feel like I'm raping y'all either, or we're just begging, or can I give you $5? I mean, I don't want to feel that way. And sometimes that's how we feel. Because either your head hurting, you're tired, the baby's up, I got to get up at 5. What's a brother supposed to do? Talk to me. What am I doing? Take 3 cold showers and go to bed?
Bishop Wallace.
Come on now.
You might have to tonight. You might have to tonight.
Not
good.
Because all women that have higher sex drives than their spouses. I personally know women that would take it every night of the week. So that
not the majority. Let's be clear.
I know a lot of women that have very high sex drives. I know a lot. Yeah, I see the thumbs up. I see you. There are a lot of women who have very high sex drives, and they don't have a problem with taking care of their husband anytime, any place, whether it be the washing machine, the dining room, the playroom when the kids gone to school. Listen, they don't have a problem with it. So the few or the ones that do have a problem, go see the doctor, get you some hormones, whatever.
You mean the other 98%?
Well, it doesn't, listen, it's not that bad, Bishop.
95.
But the thing is though, Bishop, you're saying that, sometimes the baby get it, and stuff. If it is okay, what did you get? Will you say, all right, baby, you lie down, I'll take care of the baby and come back and take care of business? She has to get up, she has to nurse the baby, she has to put the baby back to sleep. She's
Dr.
doing
Heather,
all of it and then still coming back to
I'm just asking you what a brother supposed to do. Just
work
tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Work together.
Do I turn the tap off? Do I just turn it off? What am I supposed to do? Shut it off? It don't work like that. I told you before, their gas stations are open 24 hours a day. Some at night,
you don't go to every gas
stations
station
always
for your gas.
open.
Listen, if you keep a woman happy, a woman will keep you happy. And if the communication is wrong, if there's something wrong in there somewhere where you're not saying what you need, because listen, didn't I said it nicely before, but let me say it again. Let me put it in layman's terms.
Say it slowly so we can get it.
Let me break it down for you. Marriage is an institution. If you have to learn how to turn me on, then go to class and learn. If I have to learn how to fulfill your needs, then I need to check in with the teacher or the professor and learn how to take care of you. It is an institution, and we both on both sides have to understand that we need to get the work done. Otherwise, you will not pass go and you will not collect.
And then we
Amen.
go find another gas station to go fill up. Are you okay with that?
No, that's why you
thanks.
go
That's
back.
all. I'm not saying that we should do that. I'm just trying to say.
It is a
only if you've seen a casket and a graveyard that you already sign your name to, you could go ahead.
What you mean? What you mean?
I don't mean
Your
that.
wife gonna kill you.
That sounds like a threat.
Listen. Okay, let's take it down a little. Okay, Pastor Richard McKenzie, please weigh on in and help us, please.
My God, I'll take it down a few notches, Bishop. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Keep it where it's at.
No. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. First and foremost, to go back to the cheating aspect that the ladies were trying to explain, I do agree that cheating doesn't just have to be sexual. There's other ways that you can cheat in a relationship. Number one, you can cheat financially, because some of y'all have accounts that we don't know about. Hello. All right. You can cheat with your time. You can cheat with your energy. There's different forms of cheating in relationships. So let's just put that out there. Anyway, so the question is, does love equate to sex for men, right? That's the question, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's be honest. Men, sex is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Sex is absolutely important. But since the ladies are telling us what we need to know, we're going to flip the script a little bit and tell y'all what y'all need to know.
Yeah. You got a minute.
I got a minute. I know it ain't gonna take it. I got this. Don't worry. Sex, although sex is important, love for us is not just sex. How about appreciation? How about celebration? How about you just honor us and value us? That's love for us too. It might not be as important as the as the other thing that I mentioned, but we love to be appreciated. We love to be celebrated. We love to be honored. We love to be valued. Listen, I don't care how scrawny I may look or how big my belly is. You come in and you tell me how handsome I am. You tell me how strong I look. Listen, there are things that will turn us on too. And for Dr. Heather, listen to me. I know what you want. You ain't getting us to wear no apron and no kitchen frying chicken. I'm telling you that right now. I am not going to show up in my kitchen, amen, with no clothes on and just an apron frying chicken. Listen, there's other ways that we can come together and turn each other on, all right? There's other ways that we can do this. So ladies, as much as you tell me,
explore.
Explore what?
Can you make
I'm not Dora. What I got to explore for? I'm not Dora. All right. So,
Pastor Richard,
yes.
can you make an ice cream sundae with a cherry on the top?
Lord have mercy. Bishop, back over to you, sir. And now may the say
Okay, I'm going to ask at this time our apostle, Rojas, please weigh in. Madam, would you please?
Well, certainly I want to say good night to each and every one. It's certainly a joy and a pleasure to be on the Bishop's Corner.
Apostle Ross, come on, man. Tell them the truth.
Get to the meat.
Well, I'm going to appreciate this this group. I got a genuine love for the brothers.
You're muted, Apostle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because his love is only for the brothers.
Yeah. No. For the you know. But it's beautiful to come together. And tonight I was doing a lot of listening because it's what we need to know. And you're telling us some of the things that we know already, but it's nice to hear it from you. And so tonight I wanted to be a good listener, you know, but some things that I know that I didn't hear that some of you all mentioned was like, you got to understand us because of the way we speak, because women sometimes can use their mouth as a weapon. In the book entitled Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, it says one of the things is that men get things done, women like to talk about it. So a woman's mouth, a woman's way of talking can really send you almost crazy. Sting. A man want to get in a fist fight and it's over. A woman want to talk for 2 hours.
You're preaching, sir.
And that could drive a man crazy. I'll go back to the Bible now. It's better to live in the corner of a house than to be in a mansion with a brawling woman. You know, so we want you to say what you have to say, but don't overplay it. Now, how we need to understand you guys too, women, sorry. What about, I didn't hear you say, what about when I'm going through, we men have midlife crisis, you women go through menopause, you might have a good sex drive, a low sex drive, hot flashes. We need to understand you in those areas, you know what I mean? So I didn't hear much about that. And I didn't hear the word compromise, that we are willing to meet each other halfway, you know? Because listen, Bishop Wallison said something. God wired us this way. Men are boorish by nature. It doesn't mean sex is everything. It doesn't mean that sex is just for procreation. It's for entertainment. It's to enjoy one another. And we are more inclined to want than women. And I think once we are fulfilling that area, it can be really, I tell you what, sometimes you might have a disagreement with your wife and you come together for a time of intimacy. It does wonders. Sex is a very powerful thing, and we cannot underestimate that. But we men is not only equate love to sex. You know, we like to treat our women nice, make them feel like they're the queen of the palace,
Yes, sir.
and so forth and so on. So yeah, I mean, I listened tonight, and yeah, I would like to make you guys happy. You know, I like to make my wife happy. You know, so I hear you. As Bishop Scott say, I feel you. Thank you.
Thank you, man of God. Hear me, and hear me good. Okay, the first question we asked was, what do men need to know about women? Now, let me ask the ladies this question. Are there anything, ladies, that you don't want the men to know?
Oh.
Are there anything that you women don't want us men to know?
Bishop Scott, we don't have time.
That was an under the table question.
I want to hear from the woman tonight.
Start with Dr. Gizelle.
We've dealt with what women need us men to know. But are there anything that you don't want us to know? I am listening, and guess what? I'm not sleeping now. I'm wide awake. Talk to me, ladies, and I'm throwing this out to you, Reverend Dr. Heather Francis, Dr. Gizelle Phillip, Kadesha, and the lovely Gabby. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me.
What don't we want you to know? If you asked me this at 27, it would be a completely different answer. And now at 50 something, I'm gonna give you the 50 something year old answer.
Give us both answers.
No.
Why not? You're holding out on us.
No, I'll give you both answers. The 27-year-old me that was courting to be married would have said, what don't you want to know about me? Nothing. Because I was a completely open book, and I think I was a little bit too honest. And sometimes honesty can be seen as a weakness, and you can be taken advantage of, unfortunately. Now, the 50-something-year-old me, what don't I want you to know? That I will always be saving for a rainy day, just in case you decide to flip the script on me.
Same thing I say. Secret account. Same thing. Jesus.
Dr. Gizelle?
I didn't know any better then.
Now we talk about Bishop. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Gizelle.
No, Apostle, you go ahead. I know my.
So let's hear from the ladies first.
Okay.
And then, we'll hear from the men. Go ahead.
What I would not want you to know, that I'm always 5 steps ahead of you.
Oh. You think?
Always 5 steps ahead of you. What you think I don't know, we know. The bank account, you know, that rainy day bank account, y'all know we have it. So that ain't nothing. Y'all know we have it. But yeah, I'm always 5 steps ahead of you. That's one I don't want you to know.
Okay. Kadesha?
Uh-huh.
Are you lost for words, Kadesha? You're muted. You are muted.
Okay.
Okay.
What I don't want you to know, I don't want you to know that I'm always prepared for anything. So I'm ready. Whatever it takes, I'm ready.
Okay.
And that can be anything. So when I say I'm ready, as my sister just said, if you flip the script, it ain't even only about the bank account. It's about, I already have in my head potentially where I want to go, what I'm going to do. It's a plan.
Okay. And it sounds as if you just came up with the plan. Okay, Gabby, please tell us.
I don't want it to sound mean, but what I would say is a little harsh. What I would say is, I think every woman sort of feels this way based on each answer, but they're kind of just like not hitting it on the head. Basically, like, we don't want you to know that we don't need you, basically.
Ooh, shots fired. Ooh. Ooh.
Shut
we can take it.
Shut up.
We can take it.
I tell you,
We can take it. We got broad shoulders. We're good.
Tongues, man. This is something else.
Hey, let me say, because what Gizelle just said, we all said that we can do it on our own. We choose not to, right? Like, it's not good. So we choose not to be alone, but that doesn't mean that we need it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense. So my question is it okay then that we can have side chicks?
No, that doesn't have anything to do with what I just said.
I'm just asking. Y'all say you don't need us.
No, but if I'm in a relationship, but if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm choosing to be with you. That doesn't give you the right to choose not to be with
The
you.
way how y'all ladies just answer this question, y'all should all have prenups. That's what y'all should have.
Something to think about. I ain't married yet. Something to think about.
Because I'm thinking.
Okay, thank you.
I'm thinking you're going to a relationship.
Please go ahead.
And go ahead, Bishop.
Go ahead, Bishop. Go ahead.
I'm thinking you're going into I know it's old school. I'm thinking you're going into a relationship to make this thing work. If you have already got preconceived ideas and notions that, listen, I'm going to just have this little something on the side just in case. I'm going to have this bank account over here just in case. I'm going to say, I'm not going to set myself up for failure emotionally or anything just in case. I mean, then why are you going to work on this thing? Just have a prenup. You might as well.
But most women having a side account is usually backup in case anything happens in the family. So if the mortgage falls behind, she'd be like, I got it. We good. We good. You lose your job, we good. It's not that, she has that bank account as an exit strategy, which sometimes it might end up being an exit strategy, but initially it's a cover
so why
for
don't
the
you
family.
What's wrong? You let me know that you got a little something for rainy day.
Nah, son.
See what I'm saying?
Bishop,
son.
You know, to be honest with you, since Gabby let the puss out the bag.
Only because she's the only honest one. No, she didn't let the puss
all
out the bag.
All right. So since Gabby
one.
let the puss out the bag,
she's the
Bishop,
only honest one.
Let's keep it real. Since we already acknowledge that we're saying that women don't potentially need men, remember, Bishop, there's a notion that says man sell a shop.
Okay.
All right, and with the Duracell battery, it keeps on going and going and going and going, and it doesn't stop.
Thus, I asked the question. Is it okay then? Will you? I'm not saying me personally. Will you frown on a side chick since you got Duracell and everybody else who sell? Are you good with that? Because I know you're not.
Okay, but Bishop, let me throw a monkey wrench in here.
Stay on.
Let me throw a monkey wrench, and I want you to. I want Bishop Wollaston to respond.
Go ahead.
How do you then respond to someone like me, who was very honest initially going into a marriage, who put everything on the table, including every dime I owned, and ended up marrying someone who I ended up not just penniless, but homeless?
Okay, of course, that don't happen all the time. I'm not belittling that. It happens.
I want you to respond to me because I ended up losing everything. So what do you say to me? And I ended up with nothing.
Okay, if you were my daughter or my sister, the first sign or the first red flag that I see or you communicate with me that's happening, I'm saying get out of there.
But no, but we're talking about, can we talk church? Can we keep it real? You not get married in the church and start telling your business that you're
church people.
What? Come on, somebody. Let's keep it real. It was embarrassing. You, first of all, you don't humiliate yourself by telling missionary cornbread, because by the time missionary cornbread have my information,
totally agree.
It reached to evangelist walkabout. It reached to deacon tell everybody, and you are completely destroyed. I was destroyed. So how do you then comfort or even talk to someone else when you know your example is somebody like me who said, listen, these are the accounts I have. This is the money I have. What's mine is yours. And then you meet somebody who says, okay, and make sure that they take everything you got. Now talk to me.
But remember, Dr. Heather, you just talked about the 27-year-old you and the 55-plus-year-old you now. They're two different yous. What you do now, hold on. What you do now, you'd not do, or what you did at 27, you'd not do now. Experience is a good teacher. It's not the best teacher.
That's why you have the account.
But you're knocking the women who now are learning from me, who was too honest and gave everything to the man. Now the younger ones are learning, you don't give everything. You make sure that you have something to the side, because if you meet a blowjo like I did, what are you walking away with when you meet somebody like, you can't go to church, you can't go tell bishop, because somebody go and tell somebody who tells somebody and tell somebody.
I totally understand, but are you saying that this is the way we should teach our daughters now? Just because, hold on. Prepare just in case he walk out on you? Is that what we should be teaching our daughters now? Because if we're going to do that.
No, this is what I'm saying. Let my daughter answer.
No, I understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
I don't think the goal is to prepare for the worst. I think it's to hope for the best, but it's always to how do I?
You hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Well, yes, but I think if you always have the doubt, then you're never going to fully be able to commit to a relationship or like put yourself fully into it. So I don't think that that's the goal. I think that you go into it having what you have and being confident in knowing that you bring something to the table. I have what I have, right? And you do the same as well. But we're not looking to to look for somebody to complete us. We have to be complete on our own. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have my money before I come into a relationship with you, and you know that what I have, not because I don't want to share it with you, but because it was mine before I came to be with you. So it's still mine. So what I choose to share with you is what I choose to share with you. Still have
that's the unwritten prenup right there.
But but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, I'm not committed. So no, it's just like, it's just my, I don't know, it's just mine.
So Gabby, what if you come in with $100,000 and he comes in with only $10,000? What if you come with 100,000 and he only comes in with 10,000? What happens then?
100,000 is hers.
I'm supposed to share my 100,000 just because
I'm just asking you a question.
Just want to know.
Just want to know.
Have access to 10,000 and she have.
We're not speaking to you, Gabby. You come in with 100,000. You love this guy to death, but he just came off farm work. He saved 10 grand.
I'm not.
And you came with 100,000. Well, talk to me.
this is okay. All right. I'm gonna give you a really real example. Okay, so
Okay.
I was in a relationship for 2 years. 2 years ago, right? I was in a relationship, and I was in college. I was working. I had money. He was not in college, working, did not have money. Okay. So he'd be like, oh, I want to get this. And I'd be like, all right, bet, I'll give you a little something here and there. My mom advised me not to do this, but you know what? I didn't listen. And I was doing it anyway because I loved him. Right. But then my money started to run out.
Did the love run out too? Did the love run out?
Yes.
The love run out. The love run out when the money run out.
No. It didn't. No, but my point is you can't eat love. Right. I can't go into a relationship expecting because I have money, I'm just supposed to just give it to you just because I
totally agree.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
No, you're right. So
and it's the same thing with the man. He shouldn't have to give all his money because it can be reversed. The woman comes in with 5,000, the man come in with 100,000. I'm not saying that you give all your money to the woman either. And it's all about trusting each other. This is why we have to be really careful with who we join ourselves together with, because it's all about trusting each other, because I'm believing what you're telling me and you're believing what I'm telling you, and we're coming together and to work this thing. It's trust on so many different levels.
Well, it's obvious, Gabby, that you're definitely a smart person. And of course, your mother has a lot to do with that, with teaching and training, because to me, that's a deal breaker. That's definitely a deal breaker, because what you see is what you get. You call it red flags. Red flags don't mean go. And if you see so many red flags, it means stop, get out, don't keep going. Unfortunately, a lot of women see the red flag, but they keep going, and then they get burnt and burnt and burnt. Remember, a guy go into a relationship with his head, see what he can get out of it. A woman goes with her heart, and 9 times out of 10, her heart gets broken. She's never going and thinking with her head. She's going with her heart, butterflies, and all the rest of this nonsense, and she gets burnt. So yeah, kudos to you.
That's because women fall in love with potential all the time.
All the time.
Potential to be broke for the rest of your life?
You don't know that when we're in love and we're falling in love with potential, because
yes, but Dr. Heather, like Gabby.
No. The thing is, we fall in love with a dream that we have brought just conjured up in our own minds. We fall in love with a dream that we have, that we hope and pray that one day he will change. We see, listen, red flags never turn green. Red flags never turn green. And we see it through big billboards, and we still rushing because we believe that he'll become the man that I have in my mind. And it never happens. It never happens.
I know Bishop Scott's going to take it back, but it's like, no knock to the women. It's like some women, they find their husbands outside and they talk about, oh, I'm going to get him saved. I'm going to bring him to church. Wherever you find him, if you find him in the club, that's where he's going to be. If you find him in the bar, that's where he's going to be. A woman must always find a man in the presence of God, because that's where Eve found Adam. Eve found Adam in the garden, in the presence of God. If you don't find your man, I know what you're going to tell me, all things being equal, I know what you're going to say, but I'm just speaking in general terms. I'm not saying he can't be a devil, but what I'm saying is you must find him in a certain place. Yes, Dr. Heather, you might find him in the presence of God with all the red flags, then run. Run. Don't wait for it to turn green. Don't wait for him to wash it out. You see red, we just heard a moment, red will not turn to green. In the presence, outside of the presence, wherever, if you see red flags, keep it moving.
Amen. Okay, now hear me. We could go on all night. The first question we asked was, what do men need to know about women? And I asked the question, what is it that women really don't want men to know?
They haven't told us yet.
Okay, Apostle Roberts, would you like to weigh in, sir? And then Pastor Richard McKenzie, and then the next question.
Men don't want us to know.
Yes. There's a saying. There is a saying: once bitten, twice shy.
All right.
And when we have bad experiences, sometimes we live them out.
Yes, we do.
So because of the experience that Dr. Heather had, but it's not a one size fit all. She might have that experience, other people might have different experiences. So in the book of Job, it says that very thing that I have feared has come upon me.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go into a marriage thinking, suppose 5 years down the road, in case I'm divorced. Remember, we said this is for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. And we make a lifetime commitment. Sometimes it happens. We people get divorced. We understand that. But I'm saying we going into the marriage and we're not hoping, you know, like in a game, you're playing not to lose. You know, so you're going into the marriage hoping that it works. But if we go in the back of our minds, hey, just in case, yeah, prepared, but we can't go just in case because we're not talking about unsaved marriage or in the world. We're talking about Christian marriages. Now, in today's world, Bishop Scott, it's different from years ago. My mother, for example, never worked in her life, not because she was lazy, but that was the culture back then. My father was the provider, and my mother did the housework, and that was not easy to raise 8 children. Listen, today I had my grandson with me. He's 3 years old, and I was home alone with him. I told my wife, not another day, I can't. He grabbing, he pulling, he pushing, he grab. Come here, don't do this. Don't remember, I'm 60. You don't have the grandkids no more. Stop it, put it down, don't put it in your mouth. Take it, stop, come here, come. Sit down. Oh, too much. So my mother raised 8 children, and in those days, like I said, there was no Chinese store down the block for pizza. We grew up in the islands. She cooked every day. So it's easy to say she was home. But in
full-time job.
I heard what Gabby was saying. Today, people not carrying nobody. You got to bring something to the table. Now, Bishop Wallison, you said if someone make 100,000 and the guy make 10,000. Now, when we talk about unequally yoked, we think about saved, unsaved. Is that unequally yoked?
Yeah.
And I'm not putting nobody down. I'm not despising their small beginning. You making 100,000, you have your PhD, and you took a guy from McDonald's. Somebody, how is that going to equate?
Come on, Bishop.
How is that going to balance here?
Come on, Apostle.
So I don't think and listen, let me tell you something. People today, listen, sex don't pay the bills. Love don't pay the bills. This is not the 60s and the 70s. What are you bringing to the table? Both men and women, different culture, different time, different era.
Thank you.
So I'm going to leave with this one. Is it okay for a woman or a man to keep a secret or tell their spouse everything?
Good one.
We talk about transparency.
Yeah.
And they say, don't hold back nothing. I'm not going to hold back nothing. We have trust. Should you, in terms of wisdom, should you tell her everything? Should she tell you everything?
Different segment, that, Apostle.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, you don't want to talk about it now. Now it's a different segment. Now it's a different segment. We don't want to talk about that. It's a different segment now, huh?
Why do we responding, Apostle Rojas? Come on, Apostle Rojas. Keep going.
That is a
no. I'm done.
Question, man of God. And I think we should definitely utilize that question on another program. Okay, Pastor Richard McKenzie, please weigh in on this, would you, man of God?
All right, I'm going to be civil again.
Bring it down a notch.
Now, let's talk about the $100,000 and the $10,000, because money is something that we have to actually look at in its entirety, because $100,000 without common sense is not as valuable as $10,000 with a plan. Because
Amen.
You can blow through that $100,000 like this, while that young man that y'all despising with $10,000 in a plan can supersede you in a split second. So don't just be turned off by that. So we have to this is why it is important before we run into a marriage or run into a relationship that we really do counseling, we really get to know each other, because somebody could have $100,000 and they could have just got it from their mama, their rich parent. That don't mean that they're responsible with it. So that doesn't mean anything. Next thing, Gabby, what did you say? We are choosing to be with you, but you can't choose to be with us. Is that what you said? Or am I misquoting you?
No. You misquote.
This is why I'm asking. I don't want to bring fake news to the table. All right. So whatever you said, to God be the glory. But this escape plan that you all have hatched Because that's exactly what. No. Stop it now.
Yep.
You had your chance. You had your chance. This escape plan. Yeah. Mute her. Phil, mute. This escape plan that y'all have hatched. Because listen, I have no problem with you having yours, but tell me about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need to put my name on it. I don't need to be a part of it. That's fine. I'm talking about that secret account in Bora Bora that nobody knows about. That's what I'm talking about. So let's talk about this escape plan that y'all have. The one thing that you have to that worries me about this just in case plan is that it may make you run at the sign of any little disagreement. Look what happened. You better not play with me. Don't he know that I got that secret account? If he talk to me one more time like that, I'm out of here. Listen, I'm okay with y'all having y'all little something on the side. But if you're gonna have a just in case plan, and as soon as a little disagreement arises in the relationship, you out because, as y'all say, I don't need you. Remember y'all said that? Gaddy.
Misquote.
No, that ain't no misquote. I don't need you. Then we have problems. Because then, what are we getting married for? What's the purpose?
True.
What's the purpose? If you have an escape plan and you're ready to go at the side of any little disagreement, then what are we getting married for?
To lose everything like me.
No, I'm not talking about that. Stop talking. Cut it out.
Mama, hush.
I'm not talking about that, man. Like I said, if you have a little something on the side, that's one thing. That's a little something on the side. But the escape plan is what I'm concerned about.
I don't have an escape plan. I don't have one.
It wasn't meant that way.
It wasn't meant that way. I was just saying that the example was given with the 10,000 and the 100,000. If I have 100,000 and I'm a saver, okay, so that's staying in my savings account.
All right.
I don't want it to seem like if I come into the relationship with $100,000 and you come in with 10, that it's expected that because I have $100,000, we all of a sudden have to share that. It's not fair. That's mine, right?
I hear you loud and clear.
$100,000.
I hear you loud and clear.
We feel you.
Things
it's okay.
Things certainly have taken a turn for the difference. New generation and compared to the old generation. Apostle, say it quickly and then we'll go to the next question.
I was saying, I commend the woman in a sense. I'm going to take a different approach for saving or having an account that we don't know about. Because sometimes it got some good women, man. They know how to save. And man, when we turn around and there's nothing and the car's broke or the boiler's broke, she could go in a drawer and pull something out and say, honey, you didn't know about this, but I got this.
That's what I said.
That's a good woman.
My mother used to do that.
Also, Ross, man, we're going to talk after this program.
That's what I said. It's not an. That's what I said. It's not. But that's what I said. It's not an escape plan. But sometimes we have that, and like let's say we can't pay the mortgage, and I could be like, babe, we got it. It's not that I got it, but we got it. The mortgage is covered for 3 months, or we can buy grocery. Don't worry, we can go on that vacation. It's not necessarily an escape plan. You guys are kind of taking it the wrong way. It's not an escape plan. Most women, it's not an escape plan, but some it is. I'm sorry.
Hallelujah. Thank you,
But
Jesus.
not everybody has the same intention. Not everyone has the same.
Exactly.
And that needs to be said, because I don't want the men to be so defensive to think that all women are like that. If anyone ever saw the movie Jumping the Broom, the husband and the wife were very, very wealthy, and the husband was the one who worked and made all the money. But the wife also thought that he had taken he thought that they had all their money.
He thought he had lost everything.
He thought he lost everything. And he said, baby, we're going to lose the house. We're going to lose this wonderful life. Just enjoy our daughter's wedding because that's the last of our savings. And she went to him and she said, baby, I love you. She said, we did not lose everything. She said, when we got married, I made sure I put some money away for a rainy day, and they were able to recoup and stay on their feet together because she had money saved on the side that she didn't tell him about because he was into brokerage
business. He was,
And he was always investing. And he invested until there was nothing left for him to invest. And if it wasn't for her, they would have lost their life and their way of living. So it's not for a bad intention. It's so that it's there. God forbid anything happens. At least you know you have a woman that will save some money. Come on, man.
Beautiful.
Hello.
As long as good intentions is behind it. Can we say amen to that?
Amen.
Okay, now hear me. Ladies, 2 minutes each on this question because we've
including you, Dr. Heather.
Okay, the second question is, why are details so important to you ladies?
My God.
Why are details
I'll make mine short and sweet.
important? Please go ahead.
Short and sweet. If it is task driven, if I've requested you to do something and I just expect it to get done, I'm different. I don't need to know all the details. However, if it is something that needed to get done by a certain timeline and it did not get done, then I may want to know what were the events that led up to you not being able to do what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, I just want to know that it is done and that's it. I don't need to know details. That's just me.
Okay, Dr. Gizelle.
I would say I'm not much of a detail-oriented person, but details do help you in your decision making about a particular situation or incident, or just even to, it helps guide your decision, because if I have every detail, then my decision is I am better at making a decision. Whereas if things are left out, it's kind of sketchy. You really kind of left hanging in the balance. I would say details help us women with decision making.
Okay, details help us women in decision making. Okay, Kadesha, please.
Detail helps us to know where we're going. So it's a guide. It's like the blueprint for building a building. It helps you to know where to go, what to do, what not to do. So I like to know the details. I'd like to know what I'm getting into.
Okay. Okay, Gabby, please.
Yes, I think that women in general tend to be overthinkers. That's just in our nature. I think generally, I'll speak
You're right.
That,
Amen.
So when it comes to certain things, when we don't get the answer that we want or it isn't clear, there's all these questions in our head. So then we're asking, well, why did that happen? And I think when we get all the details all at once, it saves us that extra overthinking that we tend to do.
Men, are women really detail-oriented? Apostle Roas, please.
Well, Bishop, the same way we said that men are sexually driven and that's the way they're wired, I think women are wired that way.
Don't defend them.
To learn, to get into the details. Of course, like it says, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. They like the details. A woman was arguing for 2 hours. Hello?
Yeah, we're hearing
You're
you.
there. We can hear you.
We're hearing you.
We can hear you.
Saying something?
No, go ahead.
No, we can hear you.
I almost lost my train of thought.
A woman will argue for 2 hours.
Yes. A woman will argue for 2 hours, and a man will want to fight in 5 minutes. So women are more talkative, if I may use the term. Again, statistically, they speak 3 times more than the average man per day. So they like details. We like, how was your day? My day was good. I'm done. Well, tell me what happened from the time you leave the house to what happened. We don't like to. We like to, just get to the point where a woman, generally speaking, she's more detail oriented.
Amen. Okay, Bishop Neville Williston, sir, tell us.
I think it's a matter of trust, or should I say distrust. That's just my opinion. They want details for what? So you can check timelines and how this, for what reason? If I told you the car is fixed, how did you fix it? What did you do to fix it? When did you? It's fixed.
What was wrong with it?
What does it matter? It's fixed. Your car is now running. What was wrong with it? What part did you buy? How much did you pay for it? Where did you get it? How long? It's fixed. We are fixers. We just want to get it done. End the story.
Ooh.
Thank you, man of God. Okay, Pastor Richard McKenzie, please.
The answer is yes. Yes, they're more detail oriented than we are. My wife is on. She'll tell you, listen, I'll come in from work. How was your day? It was all right. What'd you do? Stuff. That's it. But she'll talk. I know I'm gonna hear it when I go, but she'll talk about the phone calls that she had, how this one was this and this one was disrespectful. And I'm like, But for me, honestly, I come home. How was your day? Good. What'd you do? Stuff. I'm home. Love you. Mwah. That's it.
Okay, last question. Ladies, you've got 1 minute to answer this question. If something happens to me and I cannot perform sexually, would you cheat? Something happens to me, I cannot perform sexually. Would you cheat? Dr. Heather.
No, I would not cheat because there is more than one way to skin a cat.
Would you still be cheating?
No, I would not cheat. We find other ways to find happiness.
Would that be cheating?
Done together. We will.
Oh, okay, just want to make clear. Just want to be clear. Got you.
We will find a way together.
I like that word, together.
Way, Bishop Wallace.
Dr. Gizelle, please.
No, I would not cheat if something should happen to my husband and he can't perform sexually. No, I would not cheat. In the event that, my husband is a paraplegic, there are always, Duracell batteries and Energizer batteries and, but I would not cheat on my husband. I wouldn't do that. No.
Okay. The lovely Kadesha, please weigh in on this question.
I wouldn't cheat, Bishop, but I would explore, or we would explore, other means of entertainment and satisfaction.
Okay, thank you much. Last but not least, Gabby.
Yeah, I agree. I would not, because I wouldn't want it done to me. God forbid the situation was reversed. I would never want my husband to cheat on me because I couldn't perform sexually, because that is also an issue for women as well. So no, I would not want that. I would not cheat.
Okay, thank you much, young lady. Let me give the men the time for them to explain themselves. Okay, I'll give the men the time, starting with Pastor Richard McKenzie. The question is, something happened to me, cannot perform sexually. The women, they have said they will not cheat. How say you, man of God? Are they speaking the truth?
Oh, we're talking about them, not us. Okay.
Oh, that's easy. Great. Cool.
My God, my wife just said I'm all ears. Okay. If they're speaking the truth, I would hope that they're speaking the truth. But you can talk about something, and then when you're in that situation, it's a whole different story. That's what we have to understand. That's what we have to realize. Because it's easier to say no now, but when you're in the situation and all of a sudden, like Barbara's fatting right now, sometimes you get to that situation where you start fatting, amen, and you might see Deacon, what's his name, Dr. Francis Cornbread, amen, Deacon Cornbread might present himself. So I would hope that she wouldn't, but
Deacon tell her go.
I don't know. I don't know if she, I hope she wouldn't. Wife, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, please, sir, weigh in on this question.
Well, Dr. Phil, I mean, come on, we are Christians, we are pastors and apostles here. We got to say the right thing, But listen, man, Pastor Mackenzie say, when the squeeze is on, we would never do certain things, and when the time comes, you say pressure burst pipes,
Pressure does burst pipe.
But anyhow, I think a man would probably cheat on his wife if she's healthy more than if she's sick, because that guilt trip, man. I mean, how could you do that to someone? Like I said, quickly, my wife and I, we in March, she came down with the COVID, and I came down with a strain, but her strain was heavier, and I cooked for her. I made soup. I prepared hot tea, ginger. The day before she was feeling pain, I rubbed her down. I hope she's on the line listening. Anyhow, and I did all that. And I'm saying, if my wife were to get sick for whatever reason, and she cannot perform, You know, like I was saying, I will wash my wife underwear. I will shower her. I will bathe her. I will, if I have to wipe her, I will do it because she is sick. And I would like a, Gabi, you said something really powerful. If the roles were reversed the other way around, you would like the same for you, the golden rule. So yeah, you know, I will stick with my wife if that happens.
Amen. Thank you. Bishop Neville Wollaston, sir.
Bishop, this is not a hard question for these women. Every single woman on the panel, every single woman on the line gonna say, yeah. You know why? Sex is not a big deal for them. They'd rather wash clothes and do laundry than do sex. What kind of problem? Well, come on now.
Bishop.
Listen, it's not hard for them. Every last one of them gonna say no, they won't cheat on their wife. I'm not saying that they should, but come on now. It's not a priority for them. It's not like us. Talk to me, somebody.
Amen.
That's my answer.
Let me say this, that these are real issues that people do go through. And these are things that we cannot preach a Sunday morning. Okay, these are things that go through our minds constantly, yet these things cannot really be addressed in the pulpit. But we have to talk about them. Now, with the things that we have spoken about tonight and the different topics that we've looked at pertaining to what do men need to know about women, what should we really take away from this conversation tonight? And I'll put this to the ladies first as to what we all should take away from this conversation tonight. Pastor Heather Francis.
I believe the key is understanding and learning how to relate one to another, because each of us come into a relationship with different ideals, different ideas, different goals, different dreams, and different hopes. But the goal is for the unification, because as we said, marriage is an institution. So I believe there has to be a lot of learning, a lot of understanding, a lot of compromising, and a lot of what Sister Kadesha said, flexibility, so that it can work.
Thank you much. Dr. Gizelle.
Good. What we should take away from tonight. Trusting each other, communicating with each other on all levels at all times, and just be willing to grow and shift with each other, because so things happen in life, and you have to be able to shift gears, but doing it together, because it is a marriage. You two have become one, so it's not about just me, myself, and I anymore. So definitely trusting each other, communicating with each other, appreciating each other, and working to make the marriage work.
Thank you very much, daughter. Okay, at this time, the lovely Kadesha will come to us.
Yes, Bishop, I agree with all my co-panelists. So definitely communication is number one. I can definitely say intimacy is one, and I can definitely say flexibility and being willing to grow together. So don't be selfish in your marriage or your relationship. Make sure as you're growing and doing it together. Let's build each other up, because when you look good, I look good. We all look good.
Beautiful. Okay, Gabby, please.
I would say something to take away regarding the overall question, what is it that men need to know about women? That it's different. You're never gonna, women are different. We're just one panel of women. It's just 4 of us here. 5, how many? I can't count. 4 of us here. So, you know, you have to be able to be willing to learn your partner, you know, learn their love language. Not everybody wants physical touch. Not everybody wants gifts. Not everybody wants words of affirmation. You just have to learn your partner, learn what they like, and vice versa. You know, women be willing to do the same. And then I think that's the great foundation for any relationship, just willingness and compromise and willing to learn, like our Reverend Dr. Heather Francis said.
Thank you much. Okay, Pastor Richard McKenzie.
All right. Praise God. What did I take from this? I took from this that men are like pound cake. Easy to make. While ladies are like a 10-layered cake with about 3 or 4 different tiers on it. However, I'll say this. Although we might be different and our makeup is different and we may be wired differently, as long as we come together with one mind, one heart, one focus, flexibility, compromise, and communication are instituted, we can make these marriages work. We can lower the rates that are high in the church. We can make it work.
Okay, thank you much, sir. Dr. Neville Williston.
Yeah, Bishop. I think this is probably one of the few times I'll agree with Dr. Heather Francis. What I take away from this panel is understanding. I'll definitely agree on that. Try to understand each other. We're not as complicated as you think we are, and I'm hoping that we're not thinking that you are as complicated. You put on a good front, that's for sure. There's no doubt about that. You know, you really put it on, but you're not that complicated. Let's learn together, understand each other, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay, thank you much. Apostle Roas.
Well, I go back to the scripture. It said, I'm going to be preaching now. Blessed to give than to receive. And I think in this life, if we can serve each other, that would be a beautiful thing. So I'm serving you and you serving me. It's not about me. It's not about myself. You know, it's like the ham and egg sandwich. The chicken say, I got to lay an egg, but the pig say, I got to shred a leg. So sometimes who giving more, who giving less. But if I would put my wife's needs before me and she will put my needs before her, it will make such a beautiful thing. So I think giving and serving is really important.
Apostle,
giving and serving is really
the voice of reason.
You switched up on us tonight, man. You switched up on us.
Hey, listen, I got one question. Bishop, the clock has run out. I got one question. Should Christians have prenuptial agreement in marriage?
Whole different show. Whole different show. Whole different show.
That's another
segment. Another segment.
I'm just asking.
But let me say this as we are concluding. It's 9:30 now. That marriage is the game that two people can win and two people have to win. So we're in it together. We have to make it work. I just want to thank the panel for weighing in tonight. And guys, you did a tremendous job. Thank you very much. I want to thank our audience and so forth. And also we want to thank the production company, PNBG. And this program will be on every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. until 9:30. Please weigh in next week. See you on the Bishop's Corner. God bless you.